What's good, everyone? It's your boy Jay here. Welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna be reacting to the lore of Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh my goodness, it's finally time. Some of you guys were requesting this, some of you guys weren't. This was in the video making in the years, of course. Ever since I was trying to like get into a bunch of stuff, we're trying to get into like a bunch of things this year. For right now, it's the Five Nights at Freddy's year for this year, because we're getting a Five Nights at Freddy's 2 coming out this year in December, which is like pretty good, of course. Might as well just get the hype rolling in. So we're gonna have to see how this goes. So if you guys want to see more of these videos, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. If you guys want to see more of these videos, of course, if you guys have any requests or anything to do on the channel, put that in the comment section down below, and I'll do that for you after this video. And with that being said, let's get started in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, let's see what we got.
Do you know why I called you here?
No, MatPat of the YouTube channels Game Theory, Film Theory, Food Theory, and GT Live. I do not know why you called me here.
Well, maybe this will jog your memory.
Aw, look at this cute little plushie of a rusty metal animatronic haunted by the soul of a child whose head was bitten by a robot in 1987. Happy birthday, Tommy. Nice.
Now what do you have to say for yourself?
My videos.
I do know the kids are part of the thing, because they kind of revealed it. There's kids in the animatronics. That's all I know.
You're funny.
Mr. of a Ferret, this is without a doubt one of the most shameful displays of Five Nights at Freddy's lore dumping I have ever seen. It's actually amazing how almost every single thing you said was wrong. I thought we had taught you better back on the Theorist channels. You even worked on multiple FNAF videos during your time working with us. But
oh my gosh.
Clearly you were too busy frolicking around making videos about Bubsy and King's Quest to pay any sort of attention.
Wow.
Dude, I was just the history guy and the editor. I wasn't doing any of the lore research. Back then, you still thought Purple Guy was the phone guy. But whatever, I get it. Can I go now?
No, not until you learn the proper FNAF lore, sir. Now, if you'll see here on this 92-slide PowerPoint presentation that I've made on exactly this subject, first off, this is not the bite of 87. Rather, the image you chose depicts the bite of 1983. And the child in question is actually the crying child, aka the younger brother of Michael Afton. Now, Michael Afton is very important.
Help me.
As him.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to my channel, Foot of a Ferret, where, yes, a few months back, I made a video about FNAF where I got a lot of the lore wrong. And yeah, I knew it was all sorts of wrong. It was a quick throwaway gag, and I wasn't about to do hours and hours of research and fact-checking just to get to the punchline.
Oof.
Nice.
That's a lot.
Even so,
I think that's a lot to do that research, I will say.
Lore buffs whose heads may have exploded at the amount of inaccuracies I managed to squeeze into 15 seconds.
What?
So I decided to call in some help from the resident FNAF expert of the whole internet, MatPat from Game Theory.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to...
Yeah, I already did that bit.
Oh, well, anyway, Five Nights at Freddy's is a long series spanning more games, books, and mysteries than you can shake a stick at. So our goal is to present you guys a complete recap of the entire core FNAF storyline. Or at least as much as we can.
I played the 4 games, that's all I played.
Theories are things that could suddenly be totally rewritten by a new book, or a new game, or new movie, or decorative birthday party napkin with hidden text that only appears after you wipe your mouth 5 times. And FNAF is infamously frustrating when it comes to deciphering its lore, but I think once you boil it all down, the story might not be as complicated as you think. It's weird, don't get me wrong, but we're not talking about Kingdom Hearts here.
But first, I gotta say, if you like this video and you want to see more, be sure to hit the big red subscribe button right below this video and ring the little gray bell next to it. That makes sure you get notified every time I upload in the future. It's a big help for my channel, and I really appreciate it. Also, there's plenty of really cool Foot of a Ferret merch for sale at the link in the description or in this little banner right below this video. But yeah, enough of that. So
yeah, I was about to say, I was about to skip for a second.
This is
everything you need to know about Five Nights at Freddy's.
So hey, it's the 70s. Ain't this just a
70s.
time? Well, it certainly was for these two guys named William Afton and Henry Emily. These guys are a couple of inventors specializing in building robots and animatronics. They're also family men. William has a wife, a daughter, and 2 sons, while Henry has a daughter named Charlotte. So we got 2 groovy 70s dudes building robots to support their families.
Makes sense.
Just one little snag. William Afton is a crazy person. I'm not really sure why, but William Afton has this insatiable desire to, kill children. But I'm sure that won't be a problem anytime soon. So instead, let's focus on this new restaurant in town that just—
Wasn't that in the first one, right? Wasn't that in the first movie? I'm sure it was.
opened Fredbear's Family Diner, a small, locally owned family restaurant that commissions William and Henry to create
I saw the movie, yeah.
Chuck E. Cheese style animatronic mascots
Yeah,
to
that's
entertain
so
the
creepy.
kids.
I
There's
remember
a golden
Chuck E.
bear
Cheese.
named Fredbear and a golden rabbit named Bonnie. Now, these are what are called spring-lock animatronics.
Yeah,
meaning
William
they
Afton was
operate
in
using,
that
well,
thing. Yeah, he
spring-lock
was.
mechanisms, which are extremely dangerous. Boy, it sure is a good thing these are just robots and not mascot costumes or something. Hey,
Yeah.
guess what? These are also mascot costumes meant to be worn by the employees of the restaurant.
Oof, that's crazy.
Come work at Fredbear's Diner. Sing songs.
Oh my gosh.
Entertain families. Try not to breathe too much inside of the Springlock animatronic suits because even the slightest bit of moisture will cause the Springlock mechanisms to malfunction and clamp down on you, killing you outright. Cook pizza.
So despite this
my gosh.
gigantic safety hazard,
What?
Fredbear's becomes a pretty popular spot for birthday parties, attracting some real good business. But things start going downhill real fast. So one night, Fredbear's is hosting a birthday party, and one of the kids attending is Henry Emily's daughter, Charlotte. But during the party, Charlotte accidentally gets locked outside in this dark alley behind the restaurant. Suddenly, a mysterious purple car drives up, and out steps William Afton, who kills Charlotte outside of Fredbear's Diner and gets away scot-free. William Afton, also known in the FNAF series as the Purple Guy, has claimed his first victim.
Oh my
Henry Emily has
gosh.
lost
Yeah, he
his
killed the
daughter,
kids,
leaving
yeah.
him just kind of disappear for a
He
while.
killed the kids.
Fredbear's has its first of many deaths tied to its name. Besides being a horrible, sad, terrible tragedy, it's also a PR nightmare. And the owners of Fredbear's were just like, nope, we're out, and they bailed, took the money and ran, sold off the Fredbear franchise to new owners who pulled the flip job of the century to create Fazbear Entertainment. Not only did they get Fredbear's back on its feet, but by 1983, they've turned the franchise into a bit of a multimedia empire with a TV show, action figures, plushies.
Is that true? It gotta be true. I mean, I did not know this by now, so this was made like... What? You guys need to explain this to me in the comments section. I know the video is gonna explain to me, but just I need more explanation about this.
And most importantly of all, a new sister location, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. See, this newly revamped Fazbear franchise introduced a slew of new characters to the lineup. The TV show
the four
was
of them.
named Fredbear and Friends, after all, so they added a chicken named Chica, a pirate fox named Foxy, and a non-golden bunny bear named Bonnie, and of course, Freddy Fazbear.
Yeah,
you all
Freddy.
know these guys, right? Remember back in 2014 when FNAF was just these guys?
Oh
Feels
yeah,
like
it was
decades.
4 of them.
But yeah, Freddy, Bonnie,
It's
Chica,
been a
and Foxy
decade,
become
bro.
the faces of the new hit restaurant, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. And things seem to be back on the up and up for Fazbear Entertainment. Which
we're
of
good.
course means one thing, somebody's about to die.
While Freddy's is up and running, Fredbear's has gotten back to business as usual. Seems to be doing fine for itself since, you know, that one time a kid died. Enter William Afton's youngest son, the crying child. Why is he crying? Well, it's implied that he has a pretty intense fear of the animatronics his dad makes. And his older brother, Michael Afton, really likes to torment the kid by dressing up as Foxy to jump scare him. The kid really just can't catch a break, man. He's clearly terrified of the animatronics, but is basically forced to be around them. Which leads us to one fateful day in 1983 where the crying child is celebrating his birthday at Fredbear's Family Diner.
Oh my gosh.
Not having a great time, and his older brother decides to be a little cruel to the kid.
That
he
sucks.
and his friends all crowd around the crying child wearing character masks, lift him up, and bring him to the main stage where Fredbear's performing.
Oh
the crying child
gosh.
starts, well, crying
Yeah,
and
crying,
freaking
yeah.
out. The other kids then do what dumb kids do and take things way too far, putting the crying child inside Fredbear's mouth.
Oh. Okay. I didn't really pay attention to all the stuff, like, ever since You Always Die in the game, right? They always do, like, flashbacks and stuff like that. And you, like, play the game and and you win. They always do that. And I didn't really know about this. I don't really pay attention to all that. Now I am. It kind of makes sense why you're seeing all the animatronics and, like, you're seeing some of them are like these animatronics. It kind of makes sense to me. It kind of does now.
Matt, I know you're the numbers guy, but I'm gonna take this one. Let's do the math here. One Springlock animatronic suit with a very low tolerance for moisture, plus one horrified child crying rivers of tears equals...
Was that the bite of 87?
No 2015 Markiplier, that was what's known as the bite of 83.
The bite of 87.
William Afton's youngest son is munched by a golden Freddy animatronic.
Oh my
and
gosh,
dies.
that's crazy.
Whose birthday
That's dark.
party?
That's very dark.
Can I say that? I don't know if I can say that.
No,
In
that's
the wake of
dark.
this, Fazbear Entertainment
That's so
decided
dark,
the
man.
Springlock animatronic suits are just too dangerous to keep using. No, what gave you that idea? So our good friends Golden Freddy and Golden Bonnie are retired from Fredbear's diner and sent
Oh
off
my
to the
gosh.
new restaurant Freddy Fazbear's Pizza to be stored in their safe room. And then in walks William Afton. Now, you'd think after William Afton lost one of his kids to an animatronic he created, he would take a step back, reevaluate himself and what he's doing, and change his ways. But nah, if anything, the
kid literally died, bro.
Inspiration.
The kid died.
William goes to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza and is just like, hey guys, why don't we all just not go into the safe room? You know, the safe room housing the dangerous child-killing animatronics I made? Yeah.
What?
In fact, why don't we just forget the safe rooms even exist, you know?
Yeah,
don't need security cameras in there? No.
What a psycho. Oh my
I'm gonna
goodness.
go ahead and reprogram all the animatronics to not even recognize the safe room at all.
What a crazy man.
Nothing suspicious going on here. And everyone just goes along with it. I'm sure that won't lead to anything horrible.
So a few years later, around 1985, something horrible happens. 5 kids mysteriously go missing at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, and the animatronics start oozing and smelling real rank. Turns out William Afton's been lurking around the pizzeria, using the decommissioned Spring Bonnie suit to lure kids into the safe room, kill them, and then hide their bodies inside the animatronic suits. Okay.
Hold on, let me look up something really quick. Hold on. I know. Hold on. Wait. Oh my goodness. It makes sense now. It makes sense now. The reason why they casted this dude. It makes sense now. I just realized it. Why did my brain didn't even think about this? It makes sense why they casted him. Anyways, I was trying to put that out there. I kind of knew this, that the kids were in the thing. It made sense overall because the movie kind of explained it a little bit more. I was confused about the movie. I was like, what's going on with the movie? There's like kids, there was flashbacks happening. Now this video kind of explains it a lot better, which is pretty good to me. Now it's just, we're getting more information about this.
Why? Where's the logic here? I get that you're kind of messed up, Mr. Afton, but what on earth are you hoping to accomplish by stuffing your victims into animatronics that are around dozens of people every single day? Naturally, this sparks an investigation that eventually leads to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza shutting down. So let's take a break from the robot bunnies and talk about something that's a little less scary. Clowns. Yeah, really. See, while William Afton was going around killing kids, he still found time to develop some animatronics here and there.
Oh my gosh.
He wasn't building terrifying robot animals, he was building terrifying robot people. All
That's
of them
crazy.
have this creepy circus theme, like this ballerina named Ballora, this balloon boy named Balloon Boy, and most importantly, this little girl named Circus Baby.
Oh gosh.
Afton also redesigned some of the old Fazbear crew to fit the circus vibes as well. All that, and he still finds time for his hobbies. How does he do it? These are the Funtime animatronics. Bright, shiny, happy. They seem harmless, right? Well, underneath the clown makeup were some interesting design choices. See, at this point, Afton has seen how effective his animatronics can be when it comes to helping commit his crimes. So he designed the Funtime crew with some advanced features that, to be frank,
I never played
as if they're specifically designed to lure and kill children. I wonder what will happen.
Now, the details get a little
they just killed children, just put them in there. I mean, the first movie kind of explained it too.
The plan was to have these animatronics available to rent out.
Now they're gonna do the same thing with the second movie, and also that kind of explains a lot more better for the video games.
In addition, some of these animatronics were set to become the face of yet another Fazbear sister location, Circus Baby's Pizza World, set to swoop in and fill the hole in the market left when Freddy Fazbear's Pizza shut down. But that plan kind of fell through due to an accident involving William Afton's daughter. Because, surprise, when you make animatronics specifically designed to lure and kill kids while also having multiple kids of your own, those two things might just happen to overlap once.
Oh my gosh.
Or twice.
No.
So, right as Circus Baby's Pizza World is set to open, Afton's daughter gets just a little too close to Circus Baby and is attacked by a claw that was programmed to shoot out from her torso. This kills
Oh shit. Okay. Wow.
Afton's
Did
daughter,
not
and
expect
leads to
that.
Circus Baby's Pizza World closing for good on
And no
its
wonder the
opening
animatronics
day.
are trying to
The
get her
animatronics are
into
then
that.
packed up and sent back into storage, but
Into
they
that thing,
still
which
move
was
forward with
crazy in the
whole
first
rental
movie.
service thing, creating Circus Baby's Entertainment and Rental, meaning these guys are still ready and waiting to be rented out for your next birthday party.
Oh my
But hey,
gosh.
guess what? It's 1987 now. That's a great year. I'm sure nothing could possibly go wrong in 1987. Damn it. Yeah, even with a handful of child murders under their belt, Fazbear Entertainment decided it was time to reboot their franchise after only 4 years, opening the new and improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizza that we see in FNAF 2. The restaurant is bigger,
a lot
there's
of
new
animatronics.
animatronics,
Yeah.
and there are all sorts of extra security measures put in place
Yeah.
after what happened at the last place. For instance, there's the new toy animatronics, all based on a series of Fazbear action
Those
figures.
animatronics are gonna be
Yes, they're
insane.
shiny. Yes, they're somehow cuter and creepier at the same time.
Oh
but
my
most
gosh.
importantly, the toy animatronics are packing some super advanced for the 80s facial recognition technology, scanning for potential predators. However, that doesn't stop William Afton from going for round 2, using the same exact spring Bonnie suit to lure and kill kids at the pizzeria.
Oh my
But this time,
gosh.
things are a little different. Afton commits his second series of murders, sparking yet another
It kind of sets up the movie 2 better because he's in the suit. It kind of makes
investigation of
sense.
Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, so the restaurant is just about to close down.
Oh,
but
gosh.
first, they got
This
one
lord
last
is
birthday
insane.
party to host, which is a
It makes
little
the- it makes
worrying
the
because
movie
animatronics are
2 even
going
more
a bit
insanity.
funky.
Now, there's one pretty big detail about the FNAF lore we've not mentioned yet, and it's kind of the whole point of the story. There's a pretty hard and fast rule in the FNAF world. If you are a
What?
kid killed by William Afton or any of his creations, your soul will undoubtedly go on to possess one of the animatronics.
Oh, gosh.
So it all
Oh, yeah,
started
we
with
know
Charlotte,
that.
Afton's
Mhm.
first victim. When she was killed outside of Fredbear's family diner, her soul found a new home in the diner's security animatronic,
Yeah.
this weird, creepy puppet.
Yeah,
Or
that
at least
thing.
that's how it looks to be conveyed in the games. Like we've said, this series is kind of frustratingly vague when it comes to their lore, but
Oh,
that
gosh.
is what it looks like. And from that point on, the puppet was working behind the scenes,
Oh,
following
yeah, we
William
knew
Afton
that.
around to pick up the pieces he left behind and do what they could to set things right. I'm about to sound a lot like Matt here. As we see in one of FNAF 2's Atari-style minigames, the puppet gives the souls of Afton's victims new life inside of the animatronic suits.
Okay.
So our buddies Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, yeah, they're haunted. Way haunted.
Oh my gosh.
But wait, that's only 4 animatronics. Didn't Purple Guy kill 5 kids during the missing children's incident? Well, this is where things get a little
Probably.
funky again, because now we're dealing with Golden Freddy's spirit. Or should I say,
Yeah, Golden Freddy.
spirits. So remember the bite of 1983 where the crying child got chomped by the Golden Freddy animatronic?
Yeah.
Well, his soul is now inside of Golden Freddy.
Oh,
Which,
gosh.
Yeah, makes sense. But going
Yeah,
back
it
to that
does.
FNAF 2 minigame
That's
depicting
why
the
that's
missing
in the movie,
children's
too, as
incident,
well.
in the
That's why it's in the
very
movie.
last split second, we see a 5th kid followed by a Golden Freddy jump scare. This is Cassidy, the 5th victim of the
Cassidy.
1985 missing children's incident and the 2nd spirit haunting the Golden Freddy animatronic.
Yeah,
And
and
let
the
me
spirit's
tell ya,
haunting them, yeah.
Cassidy is mad at William Afton. She is out for revenge. Keep a pin in this. It's important.
All this is to say that the FNAF 2 toy animatronics are now most likely haunted by the souls of Afton's most recent victims.
Oh,
You can
yeah,
tell
it
because
is.
These guys start acting way more aggressive and confrontational towards adults. They're chill around kids, but if you're a grown-up, they'll start giving you the death glare. And they're not programmed to do that. So I'ma say, haunted. They're looking for revenge against William Afton. But on the day of that last birthday party, they get a tad
No.
overexcited and attack the daytime security guard, giving them a nice hard chomp on the noggin and removing their entire frontal lobe in what became infamously known as the bite of 87.
Oh my gosh.
Happy birthday, Tommy. Needless to say, this gets the new and improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizza closed for good. All right, so
Wow.
let's tally things up. By 1987,
Crazy.
Fazbear Entertainment has around a dozen dead kids to their name.
That's a lot of
almost
kids.
One dead kid
That's
for
a
every
lot.
year they've existed.
That's a lot.
You really think by now they decide to call it a day?
That's a
But
lot of
no.
kids.
These guys decided to give it one more go in 1993.
What?
They went back to that first Freddy Fazbear's Pizza location, brought back the original crew, and relaunched the pizzeria feeling just so sure about it this time.
I
But
guess.
surprise, people kinda sorta associate the Fazbear name with dead kids now, so
Yeah.
no one comes to this new
course
restaurant
it
and it
does.
eventually shuts down.
Yeah, it's
One
shut
rainy
down.
night,
Of course
a
it
while
is.
after the restaurant closes down and falls into disrepair, William Afton sneaks in and starts dismantling the animatronics one by one.
Oh,
Little
gosh.
does he know that those robots got ghosts in them. The souls of his victims are released and they chase Afton down. They corner him in the back room of the pizzeria and Afton starts to panic. But
Oh my
then,
gosh.
I don't really know why he would do this, but he runs over to the Spring Bonnie animatronic suit, the suit he's committed all these murders in, and hops inside.
Oh, yeah,
Not
Spring
sure what
Trap,
that's
forgot.
gonna do
He's in
against
Springtrap.
ghosts,
Yeah.
but, he seems to think
That's
it's
we
a
saw
smart move.
Springtrap
Remember,
in,
though, that these old Springlock suits are super sensitive
in the first
to
movie.
moisture.
You
That's
saw
what killed
that.
the crying child back in '83. And like I said, the pizzeria has been abandoned for a while now. It's pretty run down. And it's raining. So Afton piles into his murder suit, just kind of stands there for a few seconds, and chomp! Spring locks fail, blood goes everywhere, and William Afton, stuck inside the Spring Bonnie suit, falls
Yeah.
to the ground and dies. Fazbear Entertainment attempts to save
Yeah.
face from the now baker's dozen of dead people
That's
attached to its
crazy.
name by completely walling off the back room, leaving Afton's body inside and just forgetting about it. We see all this go down during a
That's
minigame in
crazy.
FNAF 3. Also
I didn't
in that
really
game,
pay
if you get
attention
the
to
good
that.
ending, you get to see the puppet bring cake to a table of children. 4 of them in FNAF masks, and one of them crying. The puppet
Aw.
gives the kid cake, they stop crying, they put on a golden Freddy mask, and then they all disappear, leaving
What?
the masks behind. The
Huh?
puppet has set the souls free.
Now, you might have noticed
Oh,
that
yeah.
all this stuff we're talking about has next to nothing to do with what you actually do in these games. Sure, you see some of this stuff play out in mini games, but those are side things that are often hidden. If you play these games casually, you may never see a good chunk of these plot-driven mini games.
Oh,
so
yeah.
how does a purple dude killing kids lead to you as the player
I
spending
don't know.
5 nights at various
I really don't
robot-infested
know.
buildings, checking cameras,
Sounds
and avoiding death
terrifying
by
too, as
robot
well.
chicken? Well, that is where William's older son, Michael Afton, comes back into the picture. While all of that was going on, Michael, now an adult, takes it upon himself to try and make up for his dad's crimes.
Oh
At
my
first,
gosh.
he was just trying to find his sister, which is
I mean,
little
yeah.
weird considering the whole, being dead thing. But
Uh-huh.
remember the FNAF rule. All kids killed by Afton or his robots go on to possess an animatronic.
Yeah.
And the soul
You
of
get-
Michael's sister
some of the kids
is now living
died,
in the
they
very
possess
same
an animatronic.
that killed her.
It is what it
Circus
is.
Baby. And it seems like
Mhm.
William Afton knows this because one day William, the messed up individual he is, went to his son and was like, "Oh, your sister. Yeah, she's over there. Go check it out." So Michael takes a job at Circus Baby's Entertainment and Rentals, as we see in the game's sister location.
My
in
gosh.
between avoiding death by face-splitting animatronic, Michael discovers the whole "my dad killed a bunch of kids and their souls are trapped inside these animatronic suits" thing, and decides he has to do something about it.
Unfortunately, while
That's
working the night
creepy.
shift at the storage facility, Michael
That's so
gets himself
creepy.
scooped, meaning the dude gets his insides ripped out of him by a machine meant to remove animatronic endoskeletons. And then this giant robot named Ennard, created by all the Funtime animatronics literally stitching parts of themselves together, jumps inside of Mike to use his body as a host. So Michael is now dead. Kinda. He's like partially dead. He just kind of moves on with his life for a while, robo bits jangling around inside his skin sack as his body slowly rots.
Wow, that's crazy. This lore is insane. Oh my goodness. We gotta talk about
and
this
turns
once we're
purple.
done.
Oh, now he looks like dear old dad. Mike gets progressively worse until one day Ennard's just
What
like,
the
yeah, this stuff was
heck?
cool at first, but kinda sucks now. And
What?
ejects himself from Michael's body, and Michael is pretty okay with it, actually.
Huh?
Somehow he is still alive. Not much else to do, but, keep doing what he was doing before, I guess.
Michael starts applying for gigs at all the various Fazbear locations that popped up over the years, with the goal of setting the souls inside the animatronics free.
Oh.
He lands nighttime security jobs at both
Oh.
the bigger 1987 pizzeria as well as the 1993 pizzeria, but is
That was
fired
him.
from both
Wait,
for tampering.
that was him, right? So they're explaining in that was him in the whole time. That was his son, right? That was him.
With
Yeah.
the animatronics to,
Wow.
save the souls of dead children, and for a general foul odor, because he is in fact a walking corpse. And all this comes to a head in FNAF 3 several years after the final closing of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. The whole Fazbear name is destroyed. No
Oh,
doubt.
yeah.
But over the years, it became some kind of urban legend. So some random company decides to capitalize on this, creating a haunted house-style horror attraction called Fazbear Frights. The place is all
Oh my
decked out
gosh.
in Freddy Fazbear memorabilia, spooky atmosphere, everything's pee-pee yellow. They went the whole 9 yards with this place.
That's crazy.
Including finding a real real
No wonder it looks
Fazbear
dusty like
animatronic
that. No wonder it
salvaged from
does.
the walled-off back room of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Yep, William Afton is back, baby!
There he is.
Undead, rotting, haunting his Spring Bonnie suit, and stalking around Fazbear Frights as the monstrosity we all know as Springtrap. I guess
my
living after
gosh.
death as a rotting purple corpse creature
Oh my
runs in the Afton
gosh.
family. But, only after a certain age.
Oh my
Sorry,
gosh.
kids.
So William Afton has been unleashed back unto the world. This could be very bad. Luckily, Fazbear
Oh,
Frights
yeah, it is.
has a nighttime
He's the main
security
villain.
guard. That's
Yeah.
right. It's a family reunion. Father and son back together after all these years. Except now they're both technically dead, and the son sets the dad on fire. Yeah! At the
And that's why he says he always comes back. Wait, what? Hold on.
for all these years. That's right. It's a family reunion. Father and son back together after all
And that
these
was his
years.
son that he
Except
did
now
the
they're
whole
both
entire
technically
time.
dead, and the son sets the
First
dad on
game and
fire.
second game.
Yeah!
Third
At
game.
the end of FNAF
That
3,
makes sense.
Fazbear Frights burns down with Springtrap
Makes
still
sense
inside,
after
which
all.
has to have been Michael trying to finally finish off his dad. But unfortunately for Mike, William Afton,
Always comes back.
he tried his best, but somehow, Springtrap is still out there.
But then,
Oh, yeah.
totally out of left field, Henry Emily comes back with a plan. After doing literally nothing this entire time, Henry jumps back into the fray by starting his own pizzeria with Michael working as an employee. We see all this happen in Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator.
Okay.
But beyond all the arcade games and googly eyes, Henry's Pizzeria is actually just a front to gather up the last few haunted animatronics and set their souls to rest.
Yeah.
And weirdly enough, the animatronics have changed over the years. Circus Baby was apparently kicked out of the Ennard crew, now taking the form of Scrap Baby. What's left of Ennard
What?
has now taken the form of Molten Freddy.
Oh my
Muppet's still
gosh.
kicking around as this bear called Lefty. And of course,
That's a name?
there's Springtrap.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
much different about it. It's just Springtrap.
Oh
Once
my
the gang's all
gosh.
together, they're all incinerated, including Michael, and we hear the voice of Henry saying his final goodbye to the lost souls, his daughter, and his old business partner. But hey, would you look at that? William Afton is still alive.
How?
Okay, how the heck does this dude keep cheating death?
Well, that's all thanks to Cassidy, the vengeful spirit haunting Golden Freddy alongside the crying
no,
child.
no, put
She's
that
been out for
away.
revenge ever since the 1985 missing children's incident. And when I say revenge,
My
I mean
gosh,
she
put
wants to
that
make
away,
him
please.
suffer. Just killing him off
You didn't
isn't
have to
enough.
show
And at
me
this
that,
point,
man. That was
William Afton should
creepy.
be dead several times over. Dude got impaled from all angles and burned to death twice.
Ah,
So,
my goodness.
basically, he's not really that much of a threat anymore, but Cassidy keeps him alive to torture him, forcing him to live through a never-ending barrage of animatronic horror in his mind as we see in FNAF Custom Night. But that's just
Oh
half
my
the story,
gosh.
because now there's two William Aftons.
Oh my god. Okay, follow me on this. Many, many years after
There's two? I didn't know that.
all the tragedies of the Fazbear franchise occur, Scott Cawthon, some random unnamed video game developer who is not Scott Cawthon, the real-world creator of Five Nights at Freddy's, started making a bunch of horror games based on the stories of the Fazbear tragedies. Yep, FNAF is officially going full meta on us now. Not Cawthon's
Yeah, it
games
is.
become really
Yeah.
popular, and
Uh-huh.
Fazbear Entertainment is getting pretty
Yeah.
ticked at the bad name the games are giving their company, as if they weren't already giving themselves a
This
bad
is some
name.
crazy
So they
lore,
decide to
bro.
fight fire with fire, no pun
Oh, excuse
intended,
me.
creating their own VR horror game as a way of poking fun at themselves, discrediting Not Cawthon, saving a bit of face, and
No.
cashing in on their own
No.
messed up past while
No,
they're at it.
please.
But as it turns out, while making the game, the dev team used a few pieces of code found on some old Fazbear Entertainment hard drives. And in that code, somehow, was a digital replication of William Afton's consciousness. Yeah, we're going there.
This code manifested itself
What?
in the game as Glitch Trap, a yellow bunny mascot
What?
with purple eyes who,
Okay.
over the course of the game, brainwashed multiple beta testers to become little William Aftons in training. Alright, this is getting a little far-fetched, right? But it doesn't stop there. In the FNAF VR DLC, Curse of Fredbear, we see this whole William AI Afton mind-melding thing really take shape with Vanny, a reluctant follower
What? What?
of William Afton. We've not seen much of Vanny yet, but we know that she's someone who's played FNAF VR,
Oh
was
my gosh, that's
brainwashed by
creepy.
Afton, and
Oh
is
my
now
goodness,
working
that is
for
creepy.
him. Also, she wears
That
a
is
creepy
so
bunny
creepy,
mascot
bro.
costume just like Glitch Trap. And it looks like Vanny is about to become a very
no, I don't
important
wanna-
player
don't-
in the
don't
FNAF
show me that.
story. Sometime in the near
If they put
future,
that in
we're
live
gonna be
action,
getting
that's gonna be
ourselves the newest
insane.
FNAF game, Security Breach.
It's
Oh, yeah,
bigger,
this Security
it's
Breach.
Better, it's constantly getting delayed. It's Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. I actually think it looks really good. And if the trailers and teasers characters are anything to go by, which they should be, in this game you're being hunted down by a killer bunny mascot with a woman's voice.
What the?
That's Fanny! And until we see what all Security Breach brings to the table, that is where the story of Five Nights at Freddy's leaves off. I know it kind of feels like we just took a hard left turn right before the end there. All this talk of AI, brainwashing, and deadly VR games actually makes all the child murder and haunted animatronics actually look normal by comparison. But to me, this feels like we've reached the end of FNAF Season 1 and are entering FNAF Season 2.
At this point, FNAF is wrapping up the story we've all been decoding and piecing together since 2014, and using it as a springboard to set up all the new insane stories that we'll be trying to piece together until 2028. The main FNAF story,
2028?
haunted pizzerias, missing kids, purple people in the Afton family, is largely over. A couple of pieces of it are wrapping up in the books at this point, but really, it's just done. This is officially the start of not even a new chapter, but a new saga of FNAF stories, which gotta say, super exciting, because like back in 2014, no one could have predicted that the creepy Chuck E. Cheese game would grow to become a massive multimedia franchise about a serial child murderer who can't die.
That's some insane lore.
FNAF is settling in on a new path. Oh man, it could go anywhere, which means that I can't go anywhere. I'm stuck in it. I am stuck in this franchise until the heat death of the universe. Wish me luck.
But ain't you done with
Matt's
YouTube?
Gonna go and sulk in a corner for a little while,
You're done with YouTube though, MatPat.
Thank you very much for watching this incredibly long video about the Five Nights at Freddy's lore. Believe it or not, there are actually a ton more intricate details and mysteries that we couldn't even fit in this video. So if you want to go even deeper into the lore, definitely head over to Matt's channel and check out his...
Yeah, we'll check it out pretty soon. There's a lot of stuff. All right, I think I've seen enough. Whew, all right, we're done with that. Oh my goodness, yeah. My goodness, this kind of makes sense that, wow. Oh my goodness, man, this is kind of insane a little bit. So the one thing I knew was that the kids are in the animatronics because their souls are in them. That's all I know. And once they do that, it's going to be the same thing over and over again. We're probably going to know how this is right now, so we'll see how everything goes. Like, that's crazy, man. That is crazy. So we're probably knowing that some of these things are just going to be out of the way as soon as possible for that when it comes to FNAF Warlord. And it's crazy that William Afton has been doing these things over the years, just trying to like kill these kids and just put them in the animatronics. And that's crazy, man. Like that's insane. I did not really like realize that from that. I mean, I did, but in the movie it kind of explains it a lot better. Now I'm getting full explanation about this. It kind of makes sense from the movie how they're trying to go the direction from that, which is pretty good. I like how they did that. It kind of makes sense now because I wasn't like trying to like pay attention to that. Now it does. It makes sense to me now, and how Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is going to be doing this movie right now for the sequel for this year. So I'm curious how they're going to be playing that out for the movie. So we'll see and find out and see how they do this. But you want to see more of these reactions and see more of FNAF Lord or anything like that, put this in the comment section down below. What do you guys think about this? Are you guys excited to watch like more FNAF lore with me? You guys want to see more of this? Share your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think about this lore? And also, is there like any videos you guys want me to do in the future or something like that? Put that in the comment section down below. I'll make it happen. And with that being said, I'll see you guys next video. Peace.